There's a lot of things that we have to consider in order to understand the problem of overthinking. At first, there is a biological reason why we overthink. It has to do with the way our body is designed. It is also called morphology. I will talk a bit more about it later on. The other reasons is a lack of cognitive skills or the ability to manage our own minds. So let us explore. So I already mentioned you that the biology of our body plays a significant role in overthinking. I am basing my hypothesis on the following book, which you can see the cover on your left hand side. What this book talks about is how the biology of our bodies, which the author is called body types, affect our behaviors, preferences, and our decisions. This book describes 5 types of personality that are emerging due to different type of bodies. They are listed below. Please refer to the diagram on your left hand side, which is of a human body. As you can see, I have shown you arrows where the certain particular body type is mainly originating from. So the theory in this book is that various people have got various body types, and the personality and the way we think, our preferences, is governed by certain aspects or areas of the body. I know at first it might seem a ridiculous proposition, but myself, after having investigated it over 10 years, I have found a lot of things that make sense, and it helps us understand human behavior and human personalities, human actions much better than without this concept. Of course, like any science, there is no final uh, fact that this is true. For example, Galileo overturned the theory that the Earth was the center of the universe. And then Einstein overturned the theory that gravity was something, a mysterious force. So there is no definite verdict on whether the theory that I've proposed, which is called morphology, is true or not, but it works to some far effective extent. So, without going into too much details, because it's not the scope of this book that I talk about morphology and go into depths about the various personality types and temperaments based on the 5 body types, I will touch the characteristics and aspects of this theory that is relevant to overthinking. So let's start from number 5, the skeletal type of personality. So this person is usually thin or even skinny and has got big bones. It can be of the jaws or of the arms, the wrists, but you can easily notice that this person has bigger bones, bigger knuckles, or whatever bones can be seen. This person is thus governed by his skeleton, and that is why the term skeletal personality type. In terms of overthinking, this person will not be so much of a thinker and instead will have a very narrow, unidirectional, and stubborn mindset. If you ask him, do you have an overthinking problem? Most likely this person would say, no. Next, we'll talk about the elementary type of body personality. This person is what we call somebody who is obese, fat, forgive my political incorrectness. They usually have a big belly. Now, in terms of overthinking, these people are not able to think that much. They usually tend to subdue their thoughts by overeating. So, if you ask these people if you have an overthinking problem, most likely they will say, no, I have an overeating problem. In many cases, they compensate their overthinking with overeating. So the problem is just switched to the next level at the body level from the mental level. The muscular type of body is somebody who is usually shorter than the average height of that place. This person will have more muscle mass than others. Such a person is very practical, not only in the physical behavior, but even in the way he thinks and the ideas that come in his mind. In terms of overthinking, this person lacks the ability to think thoroughly over various problems and has got already a fixed mindset. So if you ask this person if he has an overthinking problem, most likely he will say no. In the second last position, we come to the thoracic type of body personality. This person is characterized by a high chest. He also has a thin waist. Such a person is usually very impulsive. Overthinking is his last problem, and the lack of thinking and impulsiveness in his decision is mainly his problem. Finally, we come to the cerebral type of body personality. This person will usually have a bigger forehead than the average person. He will also have thinner bones. He will usually have less muscle density. Such a person is prone to overthinking. These are the people that complain about overthinking consuming them. Before you come to a conclusion, let me tell you that most people are a combination of more than one body type. So somebody can be a skeletal and a cerebral. Another person can be a thoracic and elementary. Well, you got the point. How would you know if there is a combination of body types? Well, some people will have a bigger forehead and would have some body mass also. So such a person would be cerebral and muscular. Some people would have a big forehead and a big belly also. Such a person would be cerebral and elementary type. As I said, talking more about morphology is beyond the scope of this book, so I will end it here. However, my objective to introduce you to this concept is to inform you that overthinking is not purely your weakness, but it is caused by your personality type, which is dictated by your body type. So if overthinking is your problem and you are cerebral, it can be pure or hybrid, then you will not be able to stop your overthinking. However, as I will talk to you later in the remedy section, you'll need to manage your overthinking over time. So if you have reached this far and you are a cerebral person, please read on, because maybe your happiness and even your well-being lies on the knowledge that you'll get from this book. So now that you know that your overthinking problem is rooted in your body type or biology, the next bad news I have to break to you is that if being cerebral and a combination of some other body personality, you are having overthinking problems, it means that you do not know how to think. But wait, you will complain to me. You will say that you have been thinking since you were born, or at least since you were aware of things. So, how can you not know how to think? Sadly, people have very poor thinking skills. They do not know how to identify thoughts, follow them, and break the chain of thought. Most people do not know how to recognize different type of thoughts. And the worst problem related to thinking skills is that people spend a lot of time thinking, maybe hours, but they are not able to go deep into the thoughts. Instead, they are just perplexed at the superficial level of the thought, which exacerbates the problem further. Instead of me trying to prove how your thinking skills is poor and as a result you have a problem called overthinking, I will handle this topic in the remedy section as a solution. That said, a lot of people have got problems that lead us to overthink. That is a genuine reason to think. Let's say that your boss has confronted you with uh, termination because of your low performance. Well, now you better start overthinking because this is a real problem. Maybe in your relationship, your partner is not happy with you and things are not going in the right way. Such is a real problem, and you better start thinking or lose the relationship. You might fall into an accident, and your survival might depend on your ability to consider all the possible risk associated fast and effectively. So these are the real problems that require you to overthink. Now, this is understandable and required. However, even if the problem is real, many people do not know how to think, and as a result, they overthink. And as a result, they suffer the above symptoms that we talked about earlier. So, again, to overcome those sufferings from overthinking, the remedy section will provide you with lots of principles and techniques and skills. If you started to get a headache because there was a real threat, that is understandable and desirable and acceptable. However, many of us mistake the rope for the snake. Then we go on a wild goose chase. Sometimes it's a comment made by one of our friends about our hairstyle. It's a very casual and mindless comment, but you think that it is implying that this whole group of your friends is going against you. Again, this is a problem. You might hear from the grapevine in your office that you will be transferred without any business. This might lead you to overthink beyond the office hours into the wee hours of the night until there is some reliable sources for that information. You can consider it as a fake problem. But because of the poor thinking skills, your brain cannot shut down, and you are going on a rampage of thinking. Now we come to the sad part of overthinking. Whereas earlier I was blaming the person who is overthinking for his problem of overthinking, here I just have to show this person sympathy. Many people overthink because they have not been able to heal their past life trauma. It could have been an abuse that faced as a child or neglect from parents. It could have been some misunderstanding or false accusation. It could be an unexplainable death of a loved one. It could be a betrayal by somebody one trusted.